Hello friends, and welcome to video number 1 in our study of and pray through of the book of Joshua. I don't know how long it's been since you read through this Old Testament book, but for me, it's been a while, so I'm really looking forward to rereading this book and praying through it. Some of you may wonder why I choose certain books for us to study together, and honestly, there is no real rhyme or reason to it. I tend to move from a book in the Old Testament to a book in the New Testament, and then a book in the New Testament to one in the Old Testament, and vice versa. You get the point. And since we last studied Romans together, it was time to study an Old Testament book that we had not studied yet. One of the long-term items on my bucket list is to complete a 3-column study of every book of the Bible, and we are well on our way to reaching that goal. Thank you for joining me in reaching that goal. Now, let's talk about Joshua. It is the first book of what we tend to identify as the historical books of the Old Testament. In short, the book of Joshua describes the conquest of the land of Canaan and its distribution, the distribution of land to the tribes of Israel. It is named after one of the key leaders of God's people, Joshua, who led the Israelite armies into victory over the Canaanites. Joshua became the leader of Israel after the death of Moses, as you know, which is recounted in the last chapter of Deuteronomy, the book that precedes this one. So the book of Joshua begins with God's call and encouragement to this new leader, and it ends with the division of the land among the tribes of Israel. Now we're going to be looking out for several themes as we read through this book, and here's the first one. There is the theme of godly leadership. Before Moses died, he commissioned Joshua as his successor. And the book of Joshua traces Joshua's development as Israel's new leader. We will notice that the key to Joshua's success lay not in his administrative or military prowess, but in his devotion to God. And there, of course, is a lesson for us all. Another theme of the book is God's faithfulness to his promises. As Israel takes possession of the promised land, we are reminded once again that God always keeps his word. Again, Scripture will stress that Israel's conquest of Canaan did not happen because of their great military strength. Oh no, it happened because of God's faithfulness. Our God is a promise-keeping God, isn't he? A third theme of the book is the importance of the covenant that God made with Israel and their keeping of that covenant. So, the obedience of Israel is an important theme in this book, their covenant loyalty, if you will, to the one true and living God. We will notice many references to this in our study of Joshua, and along with this idea is the idea that Israel was to separate from the Canaanites, especially religiously. Israel was to be holy and was not to be taken in by the idolatry of the Canaanites. Well, those are just a few of the major themes of the book: God's leadership, God's faithfulness to his promises, and the need for Israel to obey their covenant with God. And in general, I want us to note that the major purpose of the book of Joshua is to describe God's giving of the promised land of Canaan to his people, Israel. So, once again, this book, like all books of the Bible, is about God. He's the major character. And this doesn't surprise us, for the Bible is the story of God, isn't it? And his dealings with his children. So, we're going to be on the lookout for what this book tells us about our God. In short, this is a book that glorifies God and shows his mercies on his people, but it's also a book that warns of the dangers of rebellion and disobedience against him. Now, as you probably know, I like to have a conversation with a commentator of the book I am studying, so I will be reading David Howard's 1998 commentary on Joshua in the New American Commentary series. Another thorough commentary on this book is Martin Woodstra's commentary in the New International Commentary of the Old Testament. You may have another commentary in mind that you would like to read through as you have a conversation partner with the book of Joshua, and I would certainly encourage that. Finally, you're going to want to download our reading guide for praying Joshua, and to do so, go to our website at effectivechurchleaders.com and click the hashtag Praying Joshua tab at the top right of the home page. All right. We'll begin our study of the text on Saturday, January the 1st, New Year's Day, and I surely hope you are planning to join us. And in the meantime, enjoy these last few days of 2021, and may God bless you and yours in the coming new year.